drinking? Seltzer. You have a question? Or you should have asked it. The comments go so fast. Hellos. Oh, I'm sorry. It happens a lot. I feel like people judge by height, and it really needs to stop. There's a word for it now, too, which is good. It means that somewhat of a difference will be made, right? Hello from Michigan. You like my hair? Thank you. I'm growing it out until as close to Halloween, and then I'm going to cut it short again. And then after that, I think I'm going to go back to trying to get my long hair back, because I do kind of miss it, but I don't mind this. I could always do fake extensions and stuff. Smoothies or milkshakes? Smoothies are healthier, but milkshakes taste better. Do I live in New York? Yes, I live in the state of New York. When's my birthday? June 29th. No, it's not being afraid of height. That's what heightophobia, I guess, would be. But it's like, being discriminatory because of someone's height. Because someone observes my height over my intellect and who I am as a human being, they treat me younger than I am, and they don't listen to me when I try to correct them, because they are only judging on my height. It's a thing. You're a June baby too? Yes, I took growth hormones. I was on 2 different ones. So I went on one as a younger kid and didn't see any progress really. So we ended up stopping them because they did more harm to my body than it was seeming they did good. And then I went to a different endocrinologist or something, and we got on a different medication, a different growth hormone. And that one we saw more benefit from. And he even said that there would have been, like, if we had found this earlier, maybe I could have been taller. But who cares about that? I have no clue on the kids category at all. I have no clue what I would do. I'm not thinking like that. I am still baby in my head, okay? I need to take care of myself before I can even think of taking care of another human being. Whether that be a friend, taking in a romantic interest, taking in a child. I mean, that's a lot of responsibility, and your girl isn't even fully comfortable driving by herself yet. So, until that, I am not thinking about that. Do I feel more understood after the show aired? Of course. I feel like there's been more good that has come from it, but I feel also that people think they understand everything about me when they really only know about 15% of me. Being honest, that show, in general, that time frame wasn't that long of my life. It was a very small portion. So you don't honestly, that was a noise, so thank you. I don't know what happened. Okay, there's a lot of noises. We're turning that down now. But a lot of my life has shaped who I am. And you only saw a small portion of my life and how it shaped who I was, or how I am, or how I'm shaped now. But so I feel like people don't know me as much as they think they do, but yeah, of course you know me more than you did before not knowing me at all. How many tattoos do I have? I have 4. So I have one here, I have one here, I have one here, and I have one here. You never watched the show, but you've heard of me? Oh, that's great. That's kind of cool. I mean, honestly, I don't really care if you've watched the show or not. I mean, it was a cool experience, and I think it got a lot of the awareness out there, but I don't think it's, all of me. How old am I? I'm 24. I've thought about doing black hair, but I don't know if I would dye my hair. I think I would more be into doing wigs than dyeing my hair. I've also thought about like just shaving my head though. So like I've thought about doing some extreme stuff, but like if I was going to change my hair, I'd probably just wear a wig. Because my hair is also super fragile. Like when we dyed it for season 2 of I Am Shauna Rae, it became very frail, and honestly it didn't feel healthy, and now it's kind of getting back to being healthy. So, and I also wasn't allowed to cut my hair during that whole period, so it was very unhealthy. And now it's back to being really healthy, and I don't know if I want to do it again. We already talked about the kids thing. I'm nowhere close to thinking about them. Your head is shaved? Good for you. I'm proud of you. It's a bold statement. I'm so proud of you. I want to do it so bad just to see my head scar. Okay? So I have let me put this down. So I have a head scar because of my surgery. And from what I was described, it's like an L shape because it just kind of like, I don't know, flapped my head open because I was 6 months old. So it wasn't much of like a hard skull kind of situation. I was still soft socket and everything. Basically, so they cut that open. What does that look like now? Because you can see a little bit of it when you look like down on my head directly. But like, why did it grow to? How large is it? How small is it? Like, there's so many things. And like, don't even get me really started on my scar because I'm so interested in it that I might just shave my head one day. Like, leave me alone long enough, I probably will shave my head. Oh, thank you. You guys are so nice. I should do a crazy hair color. See, I would probably do a wig. Riley has crazy hair. She has the same hair that she had on season 2. We redid it. She didn't get the pink all the way, but I think she's going to go back to the original. Sorry, these are going so much faster. Have I ever used my youthful appearance to get like into places like theme parks and theaters cheaper? I haven't. When I was a kid, a lot of people assumed Riley and I were twins, so they would just automatically do it. And we would automatically be given like kids menus and stuff. They didn't really ask. They've done a much better job of asking now. Yes, the show was on TLC. We can't talk about future I Am Shauna Rae, but I can talk to you about season 2 and 1. I mean, what you've seen. I can't talk about what you probably haven't seen, like the making of. It's kind of weird. Am I still living with my sister? Well, I'm still living with my parents, so yeah. Yeah, she's in her bedroom. What am I drinking? Seltzer. If I shave my head, you'll shave your head? Okay. That's a good way to make me want to shave my head more. If people bully you for being short, one, I'm really sorry. But they're doing it because they're insecure about something inside. And they're just deflecting. So you be confident, you be yourself, you be prideful of who you are and your height, and you'll outshine their negativity. And they'll eventually stop picking at you, because if you don't pay attention to it, if you don't acknowledge them, they'll eventually go away, hopefully. Sometimes they don't, and then you gotta stand up for yourself a little more, but usually if you stand up for yourself and be confident in who you are, they'll stop. I'll take the financial freedom and the good health for me this year. I don't know if I want to get pregnant this year. I mean, this year is almost over, so that means I have very little time, and I'm not ready for a baby. I am also not ready to have baby in stomach area. No, I know what happens to a woman's, like, insides, her organs and stuff during pregnancy, and that's not a pretty look, and I don't know if my body wants that. But thank you. I wish you the same if you want the same. But I'll take everything but the babies. I look older? Well, I'm 24. I think also we have to remember with television and the internet sometimes comes filtering, and that can sometimes make me look doll-like and very young. And I have these bags, and they make me look like I'm 80 sometimes. I feel like I look like I'm 16 but like 30 at the same time, because like I'm young but I'm also old emotionally because I've seen a lot, and then my body has gone through so much like treatment trauma that it looks aged, but I'm still only 24. I've always had this weird looks and feels older than I am but isn't. And these are moving so fast. Have I ever gotten refused alcohol or lottery even though you've given them your ID? No, I don't think so. I don't think that my ID has ever been actually like refused legally. I think pedestrians like not involved in the situation, not an official of any sort, that I've offered to get off my back have refused it, but they won't look at it. I've never had my ID be refused because you have to scan it in New York when these legal situations, like at a bar, like if I bought a lottery ticket and they asked for my ID. So I've never come into the issue. I'll let y'all know when it happens, because it'll be a huge issue for me now that I'm 24. I think at this point, we need to stop assuming people are a certain age just because we have assumptions. My hometown is Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. I grew up in Allegheny County. It is my voice. You see, I'm tiny, which means proportional organs and proportional voice box, which means tiny, tiny, tiny voice. But I can also make it sound cuter and rustier, I guess. I don't know. Do I sing? No. Favorite movie of all time? I don't know. I like the Meet the Robinsons Disney movie though, and it always makes me happy. The dinosaur is my favorite. What do I do when someone's fat shaming me or body shaming me? Well, first step is I ignore them. I ignore those kind of comments in my life because you have no clue how much effort it took me to be happy when I see someone in the mirror. So why would I let you take me down? And at the end of the day, I know all bullying or all anger is deflection. You know, it's usually something deeper rooted. And if someone's body shaming you or fat shaming you more specifically, it's because they're insecure about themselves. And if they're fat shaming you and they're a skinnier person, it could be because they're insecure that they're going to be that way and it's not okay where they grow up, or it's not okay in their mind. It could be because they have body issues themselves already in some other form. It could be because they were once heavyweight. It could be due to all sorts of things. We all have our own issues and trauma and things that we go through. So we have to remember that a lot of people, when they get angry at us or make fun of us, it's because they're uncomfortable with something within themselves. Why do they bully? Because they have to make someone else feel as bad as them. Society is kind of built on this hate culture or laugh at each other culture, make fun of each other culture, cancel culture. I mean, if we look at it all, it's all built on tearing people down, and somehow we feel better about ourselves. So over time, we've correlated that tearing people down, making fun of them, hurting their feelings, is going to make me feel better. And at the end of the day, it doesn't. So we just keep doing it, and, everyone gets hurt. And it's a really screwed up situation. So we need to stop it. Like, it's so toxic. Hello. What products do I use in my hair? Well, okay. It's gonna sound weird. I've used dollar store products. I've used Pantene. I use Dove. I've used all sorts of things. It doesn't really change as long as I keep cutting the edges. I do go in with scissors sometimes and just go, but very gently in like little areas, especially when I want it to grow. Right now I don't want it to grow, so I'm not cutting it. But right now I use Dove, and when I had the highlights in, I used that purple shampoo. But that made my hair feel horrible. I have been criticized for wearing something you would call adult-esque because people perceive me as a younger person. Ironically enough, it was at the zoo, and I was wearing something that was probably like down to here. And like my bra is here and here. Sorry, guys, don't get weird. But so it was like down to here, and I had like a necklace here. So it was kind of like giving way to the cleavage that was very non-existent at 16, but I had just sewn this shirt. I had gotten this adult shirt, and I had just sewn the straps to fit me. And we went to the zoo, and my mom was really happy with it, and I was really happy with it, and I was wearing a jacket, okay? So it wasn't too bad, but I took the jacket off at some point, and we were walking through the zoo food court area. And this is in Pittsburgh, so Pittsburgh Zoo. It's a great zoo. And we walked past this mom and like her 12-year-old child, and it's a girl. So it's not even like sexual attraction. No, it's a girl. And the mom just goes, "How could someone let their daughter walk out like that?" And I just death glare her. Because I know my mom didn't hear her. And I'm not going to be there and act like a little upset brat. Because I don't want my mom to hear that. Because it hurts my mom more than it hurts me. And she just looked at me. And I just looked at her. And she shut up. And it was an empowering feeling. But also a degrading feeling. Like, why do I have to do that? Why do I have to silently stand up for myself? Why can't you just shush and be respectful? But yeah, so that's one story. There's other cases too. It's every time I go out in the club, yeah, there's always someone upset about something. But no matter what you do in life, you're always gonna upset at least one person. So you may as well do what makes you happy, and who cares what upsets who? I think my parents are watching this live because they just screamed 900. We'll see. I don't try to make myself look older. I do what makes me happy. I dress the way I want to dress. I will do my hair the way I want to do it, and people can think I look younger, people can think I look older. If anything, I've had other people try to make me look younger. Like, I worked with someone who made me tape down my boobs, and I worked with someone who made me put my hair in pigtails and kids' clothing on and took pictures like that. And I get it as a marketing stance, but it was an obsession kind of this person to do that. And it made me feel very insecure about who I was as a woman. You like my hair length? Thank you. Is it my voice? Let me check. Yes. I'm 24, yeah. I do work. One of the things I'm doing right now is I'm working on manufacturing the white outfit that I produced on I Am Shauna Rae. So we actually just came back today from getting the second version of the samples. And we're doing a little more detail working, and then I'm going into the city next week, and hopefully we can start mass production. And I'm really excited for that, because if the size works and it's as successful as everyone has made it seem like it would be, then it could be really groundbreaking in the sense for that size gap that's missing in the fashion industry, because I just want to fill that, and we can go up and down from what I'm producing, so that's always a good thing. Would I ever try lash extensions? So I've had fake lashes, I think, once, and I took them off almost immediately. So when I put mascara on, my lashes already touched the sunglasses. I was graced with nice eyelashes due to my paternal side, because I've talked to my mom, and she's like, it has to be from your dad, because it's not from me. And I'm very grateful for my eyelashes, but when I had fake lashes on, they were really heavy, and they really didn't look that nice. I wouldn't say like my eyelashes are super thick, but they have the length, so they honestly do best with just curling them and not putting mascara on or anything, because mascara really tends to thin them out, or it feels like it thins them out, and I don't like that. Would I ever dye my hair? I've thought about it, but like, ever since doing highlights and my hair got like kind of weird, I'd rather probably just do wigs. I'll go out in a different wig every day if you want. I don't know who Emily Red is. I don't know if that's a compliment or not a compliment, so I'm gonna look it up. I feel like I look like a lot of people, not gonna lie. Like, if you put my face on a average or typical sized woman's body, I feel like my face would look like a lot of people. Emily Red. Okay, I'm not gonna lie, I can kinda see it, but I feel like it's just the hair. I'm 24. Again. Have I been on any dates? Yeah. It's not like I'm against dating. It's just I didn't really want to do a lot of dating on I Am Shauna Rae, because I didn't want to focus on that. I also had just gotten out of a long-term on and off again relationship, and I wanted to know who I was without that person. I was with that person since I was a teenager, basically. And it wasn't, you know, a lot of me working on myself then. Dream job? It's changed over the years. I'd still want to be a vet. I'm not gonna lie. It's always been my dream job. But I want to make a difference, and I found a passion in fashion, which it rhymes, so I hate that. But I found kind of like a small little home, and I'm gonna stay there for at least a little bit, unless I fail and fall down a hill and like crash. Then I have to leave that home. Would I ever get a nose piercing? I'm not sure about that. I think I'm past the point of wanting one. Thank you. You guys are very sweet. I'm for real. I would hope so. Like, I've worked very hard on being a human. It was a hard journey. I was not a human for like the first 10 years of life. My emotions have checked in. I'm 24. Ah, you mean down to earth. Thank you. I try to give it straight up, and I don't like to fake anything because then I have to remember it, and that's a lot of work. I would be thinking about getting another tattoo. I don't know what. I've always wanted like one of those fine art like jewel tattoos, but I think I would do it like an anklet and on my foot. But even then, I have to think about it, and I don't know what I'd want. I'm very indecisive when it comes to it. I am 3'10", and if you want to get technical, 3/4 of an inch. Favorite alcoholic drink? Mojitos or margaritas. And then it's pina coladas. Because I like virgin pina coladas better than alcoholic pina coladas. What am I drinking? Seltzer. Yeah, I'm human. I just, as a kid, I had emotional issues, so I really didn't have empathy for people, and it's taken me a long time to, care. But I honestly think that was a side effect due to the chemo and cancer, because I had anger issues and I was on anger pills that gave me tics, so they took me off the anger pills. And, I do have an emotional imbalance. So, but it is what it is, we deal with it. So I gained empathy as I got older. We're very grateful for the empathy, but I could also shut it off. So it works for the very toxic and cutting them off. What about my voice? My cup, I got it in Nebraska at a coffee shop called Scooter's Coffee. It's a really pretty cup. I mean, it's not as big as it looks, unfortunately, because it's glass and glass, but it's super pretty. I have 2 of them. Yeah, my sister got married. We have like clips or like little pieces of her wedding here and there on my YouTube. Do I have kids? No. My parents feel like children sometimes. Just sometimes. I did pass my driver's test. So if you watched I Am Shauna Rae Season 2 and you saw that I was starting to take my driving, if you ever continue it, you'll see that I did get it. And my parents made a rock solid cookie cake. And yeah, so I've almost had my license for like almost a year, coming up this month. I actually got my license on my friend's birthday. Have I ever gotten mistaken for a child? Yes. One of the 2 worst incidents I've ever had in my adulthood is I was working as a barista and some woman came in, ordered her coffee, took her coffee, saw me get off my stool and get back on, and started screaming child labor. And, like, would not stop until security, like, made her leave. And then they, like, let me know when she left the mall because they were, like, concerned for my safety. And then the second incident is I went to a drugstore and I got my blood taken for my doctor. And then I left, and this was actually in between season 1 and season 2 of I Am Shauna Rae. Or somewhere around that timeline. But I left, or I was going to leave, and I was waiting on the curb for Mark to come pick me up because he went to drop something off at the post office because he thought it would take longer. And a worker had come out and told me that I needed to come back and wait in the store. And I asked her why, and she said, because you're a child. And I was like, oh no, I'm an adult, here's my tattoos, I have piercings, here's my ID, and she's like, no, you're a child. And I was like, no, I'm not. I was like, I'm not going in the store. I'm not a child, I can wait out here. And she came back with her supervisor, and her supervisor did the same thing, went through the same process, denied my ID, and they came back with a customer. Like, those 2, and then a customer, because he had a buggy. And same process. Denied my ID. Denied to look at my ID. And then they went inside again. And I saw Marks pull into the parking lot because I had called him. Very upset. I was like, you need to come here. I need to get out of here. Like, they're not going to let me leave. Because I had argued with the woman, the supervisor, about, okay, what if I get off the curb? Do I still have to go inside? Because she was like, I was like, why do I have to go inside? Why is that a rule? She's like, because you're on our property. The curb is, this place's property. I was like, okay, so what if I get off the curb and get on the street? Am I on your property anymore? Can you enforce me into your building? And she just went silent. And I was like, okay, then I'll stand on the street. She's like, no, that's unsafe. I was like, exactly. So what do you want me to do? And then they went inside, and I booked it to Mark's car. And I cried. And he wanted to go in there, and I just wanted to go home. And we didn't do anything about it. Because it was a very traumatizing moment. And the last time I went back there, I hated Mark for taking me there to get my blood work because I did not want to have to go through the incident again. And I feel like that every time I go there to get my blood work done. And it sucks. But I don't know if those people work there anymore. I haven't seen them. And if I do, and they do it again, I'm gonna like just internally die. My voice isn't like a child. My voice is that of a 24-year-old woman. I just have a smaller body, which means smaller voice box, which means higher pitched voice. It's kind of pretty simple when you think about it. I mean, if you think about other people with dwarfism, or what people typically think of when they think dwarfism, which is achondroplasia, they usually have a disproportion, and they usually are heavier than me. They're taller than me, they're heavier than me. So people with achondroplasia tend to be about a foot taller than me, or half a foot to a foot taller than me, and I'm only 50 pounds, while they weigh more than that. So if you think about a taller height, taller weight, what people usually think about with dwarfism, they think about that certain voice pitch, and it's just, I'm a shorter dwarf. Do I drink? Yes. I'm an adult. I can drink. Do I drink a lot? No. I only drink, like, socially. I'm 3'10". I know, it's crazy. It's really hard for me to gain weight beyond that. I've been underweight my entire life. When I was in high school, I was like only like 30-something pounds. And then I took up yoga and I went pescatarian and I gained a lot of weight through muscle. We just answered the voice thing. Why are we asking repetitive questions over and over again when I just answered it 2 seconds ago? I'm sorry, but I've answered it like 3 times now. Am I still pescatarian? Yeah, I've been pescatarian since I was 16. At this point, it's a diet that I don't know if it would be healthy to get off of. And also due to my MSG and my brain tissue, or my dead brain tissue in my head, the pescatarian diet is the most beneficial diet for me at this point. I can't have red meat. I can't have white products. I can't have coffee. I can't have canned foods. I can't have frozen foods. I can't have additives, emulsifiers, food dyes. So, if I do, it gives me, like, majorly, bad migraines that, like, make the room shake. So, I can have it in small doses, but it's gonna give me a migraine. Favorite food? So it's ice cream or sushi. Is it really me? Yes. Do people constantly try and pick me up? I feel like when people go to hug me, they automatically pick me up. And I think it's just because they want to align their back, which I don't blame you, just don't hug me. But I don't like it. I don't like to be picked up at all. So, people do a lot. People that meet me for the first time do a lot. People that know me don't. Yeah, the soda causes me to have migraines. It's not fun. Beach or pool? Probably pool. I like the sand, but I don't like the ocean. I've almost drowned about 3 to 4 times. And most of it was in the ocean. Actually, the first time it was at Lake Erie with my friend. I was obviously shorter in kindergarten than everyone else because I was still short. And we were standing by the lake and a wave came and it just went over my head. And I just remember her brother and her just linking their arms in mine and just picking me up. And I'm just like dying. And then another time I was younger. I can't exactly say how old. It was at terrace softball. We were at a hotel and I was learning to swim and I had a flotation device on me. And this girl that was younger than me had a flotation device, like floaties on her arm. She didn't know how to swim either. And she was just clinging to the edge. And I was like, just cling to the edge and it's fine. And she clung to me instead. And kind of like used me as her flotation device. So my mom had to jump in and she got into the pool and kind of took the kid off of me. And all I remember really is like going under the water and seeing it and then like trying to peek my head up and then just going right back down. And then the third time I was around 14-ish or something. It was terrace softball games again, and we were at the beach this time. And someone had picked me up, and taken me out to, knowing I did not like the ocean because of these incidences, and because there was one time I had gone under in the ocean also, and I can't actually remember that one at all because I was just flipping. And so that had already happened. So they already had 3 issues. And then they picked me up and took me way past, like, where I could stand. and way past like the wave break and everything. So like they took me to the calm ocean, and the calm ocean became not the calm ocean with a giant wave, because they literally just threw me out there and then left. And I was just there with a bunch of like our friends, and I was like, I don't want to be here. And they're like, okay, well, we'll head back. And then a giant wave came in. I went rolling, and I just coughed on the beach when I landed, and it was like a solid minute or so underwater. So that was fun. Don't like the ocean. It's pretty. I just don't like going in it. Shorter answers? Nope. You were here because you want to hear me talk in some sense. So you get the answers I give, long or short. Biggest pet peeve: when people open a container of something before finishing the other. Helium voice. Yeah, completely. Totally. So funny. And this is my voice when I'm nice. You don't want to hear my voice when I'm not. How's my dog doing? Well, they're doing good. Sahara just went in to get her nails clipped. She's in heat, so she's wearing a diaper. My bed is white, so it's a dangerous game. And then Coda, he goes in with Riley every day, so he's not around a lot. And then the babies, they're fine. Chi-Chi went driving with me the other day. She did really well. Sahara did not do well in the car. And Nova is Nova. You know? She gets food, she tries to bite you, she growls at you, she runs around the table because she doesn't want to go upstairs. She's Nova. Can I have kids? That was kind of answered on I Am Shauna Rae Season 2. Do I still talk to Thomas? Yeah, I talked to him the other day. He's offered to take me or teach me some driving, and I talked to him the other day. I was like, I'm trying to get this kind of like all set up so I'm ready to do the driving that you want to do. And he's like, oh no, I'll do that with you. It's fine. I was like, okay, cool. Then maybe we'll link up sometime. I'm thinking maybe this weekend or next weekend, because this weekend's coming up and I don't want to bombard him so short, sirs. Oh my god. Dance? When did I ever dance besides that one episode? And I wasn't good. What is the scariest situation I've ever been in? I don't know if I want to talk about that. Where'd that person go? Because you are annoying me at this point. Because you're spamming, and it's low-key, like, kind of sad that you keep doing it. Are you okay? Do you need attention? Is that why you keep spamming the same question that you know is gonna annoy me? It's okay. It's gonna be okay. Don't you worry. Sorry, I won't be an a-hole anymore. Are my eyes gray? I don't know. Tell me what color they are today. Sometimes they're blue. Sometimes they're green. Sometimes they're gray. They've had hues of purple and red as well. Middle part would not be cute. We've tested that theory. I have an Instagram post on it. It's not cute. I also have a huge scar on my head, or at least a scar that affects my hairline massively. So no, it's not cute. It's not cute at all. Trust me. And honestly, I like my hair on the side part. I don't really care what anyone says fad-wise, anything like that. It looks good on the left part. It looks good on the right part. It's doing fine. We doing great. Have a fun time with your friends. Do I live alone? No. Say something in Spanish. Hola, me llamo Shauna. Yo tengo 24 años y vivo con mis padres y mi hermana menor. Menor is the younger one, right? Yeah. I think menor means younger. Would I want to be in the new Snow White movie? You mean like as a dwarf? Because they were all male. I'll totally be a female. I'll totally stand up for that. I'll totally dress up as a dude. That would be fun. I don't know if I could do a male voice. But like as in like a main character, like I don't know if I could do that. Depending on the script. Maybe. I don't know. I see myself more as a Tiffany from Chucky than a Disney princess, though. So I can't talk much about like the specific like network and process, but I can tell you that filming a TV show is a lot of time. And if you're doing every event that they show, I was busy at least every day of 1 month. I was up at like 7 a.m. at sometimes. We wouldn't get home till like 9 p.m. So it all really depends on what's required of you. But it's like any filmmaking. It's a lot of long hours, and you know, it's a lot of hard work. And sometimes you don't get reimbursed correctly for it, hence the strikes. And also AI. AI is crap in the bed with us. I mean, honestly, let's talk about the Willy Wonka thing. I'm a little person. I think it is so wrong that you take the one role that most little people think they got in the bag. Because we play like the stereotypical gnomes, elves, you know, like we play those when we act. We get that we have to do that. We have to take that knee. And you know, there's Oompa Loompas, there's a new Willy Wonka movie coming. All these little people thinking they're probably going to get roles as background characters. Someone's going to get the main Oompa Loompa character, and they give it to a tall person and say, oh, we're going to do AI. Talk about taking jobs from the people that need it. Like, as a little person, it's an insult. And it's really heartbreaking to see. Because we've been restricted so much that we had this category of roles that were deemed appropriate enough to play. And now, due to technology, you're going to take that away from us as well. You're going to isolate a community even more. And it's wrong. We're going backwards. AI can be so beneficial, but use the right people. Like, it's just an insult. Because at the end of the day, when you work so hard and you still want those everyday typical roles, like, do you know how many little people would love to play the main lead character in like a romantic movie or a superhero movie or anything like that? And yet somehow they still can't get those roles no matter how good they are unless they've worked really, really hard for it and it's years down the line. And so the only roles you get are the stereotypical roles, and now that could be taken away from you. And some people make their livelihood out of that, which means you're taking jobs from people. It's just an unfortunate circumstance. And as a society, we can do better. And I think that's super important. when it comes to disabilities, we should be more open about seeing them in lead roles. And we shouldn't be trying to copy by just constantly giving it to people that are popular. I have a sweet spot for acting. So I was in Lacey's story and I did a one-liner there. I was in a little movie production, and you know, I've tried out for Esther. I tried out for, well, Esther Orphan 2. I tried out for Megan, and I've tried out for other things as well, but I don't know what they were, if they ever came to production. And there's like a nice home there, but there's also a lot of trauma there, because like in high school and middle school, I never did acting, because it was either you had to act, sing, and dance in middle school, and I couldn't sing or dance. No. And then when we got to high school, they didn't have any kid roles, and I talked to someone who was in every play, knew the teacher, knew who he was basically going to cast for every role before everyone else did. And I was like, yeah, I would love to do the plays. And they're like, well, then try out. Like, it would be fun. Like, you would be great. And I was like, okay, but be real with me. What would I get cast as? And they're like, a child role, probably. Which, would you be okay with? I was like, I'm fine with that if I get casted. And I was like, but in high school or plays, how many of them consist of a children's role? And they were like, 0. And I was like, exactly. Would I get casted still? And they went, nope, probably not. And I was like, what do you want me to do with that? So I had a hate relationship for it, and then I started going for it when I was 16, like outwardly. And I started doing lines and scripts in my room, and I started reading Shakespeare and stuff. And I found a love for it that I think there needs to be a lot more variety in it. You know, I have nothing against someone playing someone with a disability or a disease or something, if they do it right. If they hone the soul of it. And I want to see people that are disabled and people with dwarfism specifically play those lead roles, play those different roles, play those extreme roles. I want to see everyone play every kind of role, because that's how we would understand each other better. I don't think someone has to be transgender to play a transgender role. But I think the person playing the transgender role has to understand what transgender means and the process they would go through. And if they do the research, if they put the work in, they deserve to be rewarded. I don't know. That's my take on it. So, yeah. Yeah, I could write and produce something, but I'm not a writer. I'm more of a doer. I'm not like the person that's like, okay, Sally goes to the store, and this is the conversation that happens. I don't know if I can do that. I should play Andre the Giant. That would be kind of cool. I'm 24. Do I have a podcast? No, but maybe soon. I really hit home with you. I'm sorry. But I hope you feel good and confident about yourself, because you deserve to love yourself. How tall am I? I'm 3'10" and 3/4 of an inch, because I get technical on the internet, but I don't really get technical in person. Am I still practicing my roller skating? Okay, so ironically, I got my second version of the samples that I'm going to produce today. So I am going to be practicing my roller skating in a couple days here because I'm going to do some filming in it. It looks so good, guys. I'm so excited to share it with you soon. How many tattoos do I have? I have 4. You have seen me on television, probably. If you've noticed that, then yeah, it was TLC. You're a new fan? Hellos. I'm 24 now. Do I like college football? And if so, what is my favorite team? I don't follow college football. I don't follow football. I feel like, so I don't cover football, and I don't cover American football. I don't cover college football. I don't cover really any sports. I think if the Penguins are doing well, I'll follow hockey. If the Steelers are doing somewhat well, I'll listen to my mom when she talks about it. If the Pirates are doing well, I'll listen to my sister's husband when he talks about it, or my sister when she talks about it. And that's about all of my sports knowledge. I'm not a sports person. It's not my cup of tea, but respect to those who are. As long as you're not in my face about it, I'm good. Favorite thing that we've ever filmed? I liked the axe throwing from season 1. And I think I liked making my white outfit. That was a really cool day. We did a lot in one day. And I liked going to Mood and going to the thrift store and doing the Illusions Museum. Dogs or cats? Dogs. There was an episode where I tried to go skating. Fun fact behind that, right before we filmed that scene, I had gotten out of bed and I felt like a tweak in like my tailbone area, and I just fell to the ground and started like crying because I couldn't get up. And I think something tweaked with my like muscle down there. So it was really hard to sit for long periods. It was really painful to move my hips in that kind of motion. And then we went to Disney. Right after we went roller skating right before that. And then we went to Disney right after. So after Disney, my tailbone was not any better. My tailbone, the bone is fine. The muscle around it is very sensitive. Still to this day, I'm doing yoga to like kind of stretch it out, like stretch like my whole back area out, and it still hurts. Like my whole back just hurts now. I feel like I'm just getting old. Am I going to have a baby? No, not soon. If I can control that, it's not happening anytime soon. I'm your favorite. Oh, thank you. Thank you to you and your husband. How am I? You're like, I think, honestly, you're the first person I've seen ask that in a little bit, so thank you. I'm doing okay. I am just tired. So we went into the city today, and it was just a long day, and I'm about to go back into the city sometime soon and get the manufacturing started, or the bulk purchasing started for my line, and I'm very worried about how much money it's gonna cost, and which I have sample 1 out on my Patreon, so if you do want to see it, you can get early access to it through the Patreon, and then you can get early access to other benefits, like early access to Instagram posts, and we're doing a chat with Shauna coming up here soon for September, where you get to chat with me for 5 minutes in Discord. But if you want to see what the outfit looks like for sample 1, well, sample 1, because the outfit we made on I Am Shauna Rae is the prototype. So we have sample 1, and that's already on the Patreon, and sample 2 is going to come to the Patreon in the next couple days. So if you would like to see what it looks like now, you can go to the Patreon, but if not, it'll be on the internet sometime soon. What time is it? It's 7:33. What is the weirdest thing someone has done / said because of my condition? Like, are you asking when they've known about my condition or when they don't know? Because, like, I would say, like, the weirdest thing is I've been given, like, a kid's toy as a tip as a barista. I was leaving the job, and someone came up to me and gave me, like, a kid's McDonald's toy. And that was weird. That was just really strange. And, if we're talking, like, after someone has known about my disability and stuff, a guy had asked me out, and, I don't know. I wasn't really expecting much. I kind of just wanted to, like, dabble in dating someone other than my toxic ex, and the dude never came out to me. He never tried to put any of that kind of effort in. But during texting, he just kind of initially initiated talking about my disability and what it would be like romantically, and how he'd want to experiment like that because he's tall and he's never been with someone so short, and it just made me feel very uncomfortable. It made me feel like I was a lab rat, and then anything he was asking about me personally to, like, get to know me had to do with my disability, and he had worked with people with disabilities or at an old folks home or something, and I thought he would be more understanding, but he's treated me like a research project, like he was going to write a paper on me the next morning, and everything had to do, like, what I do because of my disability. It felt very interview style, and I was like, I just want to make out. Like, can you just shush? Can you just go away somehow? Like, so I ended up telling him, like, the way you talked to me the other night, I was like, I just don't feel comfortable, and if that's what you want out of this, I just can't do it, and I just have a great day, have a good life, don't talk to me again. And they took it like a champ, so, you know, at the end of the day, they knew that something was a little off about what they were doing, so they took it like a champ. I'm doing well. How are you? You're from Pittsburgh? I'm from Pittsburgh. I don't live there anymore, but I'm from there. Is there any place you can watch this show for free? I have no clue about that. Everywhere I look up it says subscription. But I know that some people say it's on those kind of websites. So it depends on what you have that is free way of seeing it. But you can definitely try to find it. It's been out there long enough that someone's done, you know, something. Yeah, so the TikTok has been up for a very long time, and the reason it happened is I had to do a TikTok video for a interview, and Riley was not home, so I could not use her phone to make the video, and I had to, like, record the process of me making it as well, so it was also difficult because you had to see the TikTok and everything, and so I was like, I need your TikTok account then, and she would not give it to me, so I had to just make one, and I've stuck with it and rolled with it ever since, and, you know, here we are, alone again. Where are my earrings from? Okay, I'm assuming Amazon, Amazon, because Christmas present, the piercer, H&M from like 10,000 years ago, Claire's from 10,000 years ago, same earring as this one. Yeah, that's my earrings. Cheap? I'm not a short experiment either, though, and I'm not a people McNugget. I mean, that's kind of weird. That's a weird thing to say, but I'm not a short experiment. I'm a chemo kid or cancer baby that, had a medical trauma, and 'tis my scar, or as my dad likes to say. Which piercing hurt the most? So honestly, if we're talking healing, the second lobes did not heal easily. My rook did not heal easy. It got really scabby and I feel like a lot of scar tissue popped up. Either that or it was just my first time getting like a cartilage piercing like done officially, and they just did not take to the healing, but after that everything healed beautifully. This I got done in a kiosk, so it was fine. It was done with a gun though, which is just so not the correct way to do it. And then all of these healed pretty decently. This one healed last, and this was probably the most painful to get done, but I got 5 at once, and my lobes were basically last, so they kind of hurt the most in the moment. But like looking back at it, sorry, my piercing was gonna pop out. Looking back at it, this one probably hurt the most because I just felt everything happen and I heard everything happen, so it intensified the way it felt. Hello from the UK. Hi from the US. What kind of wine? It's clear. It's seltzer, guys. It's not wine. It's seltzer. Wine. If wine is clear, that is sad, I'm pretty sure. I'm pretty sure your bartender has switched it out for water. Mi español no es bueno. Oh. Me llamo Shauna, yo tengo 24 años y vivo con mis padres y mi hermana menor. Riley tiene 20 años. I'm not going to tell you my parents' age because my mom probably would get mad at me. I have 4 tattoos. How's the clothing line coming along? So I actually just came back from the city today getting my second samples, and we're adding a couple more details, and I'm going back sometime soon to check those out, and then I will buy everything in bulk, and we'll do mass production, which we're doing 35 of one size, 25 of the next large size, and then 20 of the 2 smaller sizes. And so it's going to be a small production, and then we'll get it out to the people that want it. And it does look a little more sophisticated and different fabric than the original piece that was seen on the TV show, but I think it looks more mature, and the way it stretches, it's going to look really well on a lot of types of people. And right now it is more targeted towards the feminine body, just because that's what I know, so that's what I can start with. And then I'm hoping to either move the size up and down for shorter, and then typical stature or larger stature, and then expand it so we can get different forms of dwarfism in there. And then hopefully, if everything is successful, then go to disability and other forms of dwarfism if we haven't covered it. And then after that, then start talking about masculine appearing apparel and, androgynous appearing apparel. And then after that, then maybe we can do transgender, like comfortability apparel, and at some point I do want to also do like disability accessories, so that way people that have apparel that they have to wear every day for their disability can do something with it to feel confident and beautiful, because a lot of insecurities come from the fact that people that don't have the disability or don't know someone with a disability stare, and it makes people very insecure on what they physically look like, or are physically wearing, or physically have with them. So if we can make it to the point where it's so pretty and they love it so much that they don't care who stares at them, and they're probably like, nah, they're staring at how pretty it is versus the actual thing, then mission complete. You know, I remember watching, like, I think it was like Ink Master or something, and they had like painted something for kids with disabilities, and I was like, that's really important, making sure that they're confident in what they're wearing, especially growing up. It's so important to feel confident in yourself. What's the name of the bigger hoop piercing on your ear? You mean this one? Okay, I can just name them all. So this is a helix, this is a rook, this is a tragus, this is a conch, lobe 1, lobe 2, lobe 1, lobe 2, helix, daith. You're finished? That's cool. I've met one person. I was at a Brooklyn rap party, and I met a fan, and they were from Finland, and they were there for the weekend, ironically, and it was super cool. Hellos. How tall am I? I'm 3'10". The goal of making the show was to bring awareness to disabilities and pituitary dwarfism and dwarfism in general, and show people a positive story when it comes to like cancer, and showing people the residual effects that come with cancer, because you know, when we survive cancer, we go through cancer, we really think about just surviving. And we don't really think about the after effects or what's happening to the body, and like there's a lot of residual effects that come with it. And you know, I am, you know, going through that now and dealing with a lot of what happened, and a lot of people go through that. So if there's some way that we can like talk about that and prevent that from happening, that's amazing. And that, you know, people are really starting to think about it now, you know, that chemo can affect like fertility and stuff. And you know, like there's emotional imbalances and stuff, like there's other residual effects to having cancer and chemo that people don't acknowledge because they just want you to survive. So I'm really glad that it did that for people, and that people are learning about dwarfism and pituitary dwarfism, and they're more open to disabilities, and just in general being more open and less judgmental is the overall plan. I do want to give like a 14-minute warning. I will be leaving at 8 p.m. my time, which is in 14 to 13-ish minutes. How many tattoos do I have? I have 4. What is pituitary dwarfism? So pituitary dwarfism is a form of dwarfism that, from my knowledge, is a dwarfism that happens due to medical treatments and trauma. So a lot of people I know with pituitary dwarfism all went through cancer at a young age, and their growth hormone was affected, or something was affected that eventually affected their growth. And despite whether they went on medication or not, they ended up staying small. Now, there are some people that had pituitary dwarfism growing up. They went on growth hormones. Their body did not reject it, or they took to it very well, and they grew to what we consider average height and now do not identify as having pituitary dwarfism. I was diagnosed with pituitary dwarfism at 16 after it was decided that my body was done growing. I had hit puberty, my bones were fusing, the gap that was there for us to grow in was closed. And that's when I got diagnosed with pituitary dwarfism, but I have contacted people, and people have contacted me saying they had pituitary dwarfism growing up, and now they don't because they got medication and they got growth hormones and they took to it and now they're tall. But as far as I know, pituitary dwarfism is a dwarfism that happens due to medical conditions, and it's a short stature caused by medical trauma or treatments. Of course I catch people staring at me. I feel like if you are anything different, even if it's like something different in makeup or an outfit, you stand out in the crowd, right? I stand out in the crowd just standing there. Whether I'm in a normal outfit or not, I'm shorter than everyone else, and despite a lot of people not actually seeing me at first glance, a lot of people notice me. And it sucks sometimes, and sometimes it's beneficial. Can you see my tattoos? I can show you the ones on my arms. I'm not going to show you the one on my back or the ribs, just because I don't want to lift my shirt up. This is the cherry one, the one I got on TV. This is my doves. My polar bear is right here. The head starts right under where the bra line ends, and my elephants are on my back, and my bra strap covers half of an elephant to give you, like, it goes to my spine to, like, my shoulder. No, the helix isn't that bad because it's honestly the flattest area of cartilage for most people, so it's not that bad. How bad did the ribs hurt? I have a small pain tolerance, but it is the only one I shed one tear during. And that's just because, like, my ribs, they stick out. So I can breathe in, I can breathe out, you can still feel my ribs. I also have a very small gap in between my hips and where my ribs end. That's, honestly, I feel like where my dwarfism hit me is my spinal area and my hip to rib ratio. So my ribs stick out, and there's this one area where my rib sticks out more than most, and it's not a floating rib, it's a rib connected to the sternum. And when he went over that with the stencil, I just shed a tear. But I was still the whole time. I took it like a champ. If I say people that have trauma, whether it's emotional or physical, end up handling tattoos somewhat better. And that's just my knowledge. And that's what my tattoo artist told me when I got my tattoo. And Riley's like, she's gonna fall asleep. He's like, well, she's been through so much. This is like nothing. So if you've never had a tattoo and you're scared to get one, be less fearful if you've conquered something in life, because you've conquered that. A tattoo is nothing. And it's honestly just like a buzzing. It's like your skin being itchy, but you can't itch it. Am I still doing fashion? Yeah, I'm working on manufacturing the white outfit. So we've changed it up a little bit, like fabric-wise. We've produced one sample in 4 sizes, and today I went and got the second version of the sample in 4 sizes. We changed the fabric to a less restricting lining. And I'm going back to get the additional details because we're adding something to the outfit that you guys haven't seen. And we're gonna start buying things in mass product, and then I'm gonna get it manufactured. We're gonna put our tags in, we're gonna produce it, I'm gonna make the website or sell it on Etsy or something, and you guys will have a way of getting it. We're doing 4 sizes. I think we're gonna do 35 pieces in the largest size, 25 pieces in the medium large size, 20 pieces in the small medium size, and 20 pieces in the smallest size, which is my size. And the largest size fits Riley, and Riley's a 5'2" woman. what type of cancer did I have growing up? I had brain cancer. So I was born with a tumor in my right side of my head. And my mom noticed it around 6 months. Favorite color is green. What do I like to do for fun? I sew, I bake, I like to play video games, I like to hang out with my friends, I love my puppies, and I like to have bonfires. I don't think I've ever really said that. I love bonfires. Like, I have a love for bonfires and s'mores. Am I still talking to Dan? Yeah, I think he called a week or two ago. I talk to him every once in a while. I know a lot's happening for him. How's my life? Really, really good. It's got its ups and downs, and we're trying to figure some things out. Trying to become a little more independent, trying to do more driving day by day. I'm trying to go like every 3 days or so. Speaking of which, I need to ask to go driving again because I'm not quite comfortable driving by myself. At least when it comes to highways and like the LIE and stuff. I think maybe I could do neighborhoods, but I'm still a little nervous. And I do want to get better at parking before I do drive by myself permanently. But once I do that, then, I mean, I'm always going to think about like moving out and stuff because that's the next step in my life. So I'm constantly going to keep tabs on that and listen for people if they need a roommate or something and think about it. And like my friend and I have applied to places in the past, but like we didn't take them. And, you know, I'm trying to get really good at driving and I'm trying to get really financially stable. And I mean, the fashion line's going to put like a dent in me just a little bit. So I have to really coordinate with that because I am all self-funded and I'm doing everything by myself. So for my Patreon and for anyone who wants to see the journey, like I have wish lists in my Amazon I have Amazon wish lists in my link tree. And I'm not saying you have to buy anything. I'm not saying that. I'm saying this is where I want to go. And this is how I want to improve. And like you can even see some of the stuff I put on the list is stuff to help me with my manufacturing. So you can see what kind of is going to be taken, like the elastic, the trial fabric that we would use for the next outfit. I had one of my Patreons buy me thread today, and it's super sweet. They bought me like a base set of like thread that can go in my quilting sewing machine and my serger sewing machine, so that way I can work on like the next creations. And I'm super excited because we're already starting to talk about like the next outfit to go with the white outfit because I want to do like a 3-piece collection. So yeah, there's a lot going on. I'm super stressed and I'm flying out. I'm flying out in September. I'm flying out in not October. No, I am. I'm flying out sometime in October. I'm going somewhere else in October. So I'm going to be very, very busy. And then I'm having a friend come to town in November. So it's a lot. It's a lot. There's a lot going on. There's so much going on. When I get closer to where I'm flying in those dates, I will let you guys know. I'm not going to let anyone know yet because it's too early. Thank you. I'm not going to do a middle part. Why are we back on the middle part rampage? That stopped like for 6 months and now it's back. No offense to you, but like it did stop. We stopped asking about it. Name a country? Mexico? Like why? You're blind and you would like a description. Okay, so I'm fairer skin. I have red coloration in my nose to cheek area. My eyes are blue-grayish. My hair is light brown with like streaks of like light blonde, and it's here and there if you wave the light right. My eyebrows match. I have 2 ears, 2 eyes, 1 nose, 1 mouth, about 19 teeth. One of them is silver, and that is on my left side, on my lower mouth plate. And I have a small body that's probably the size 2 inches above a doorknob. That is an average doorknob. And my limbs are proportionate to my body. And I'm like frail in the weight scale, but like I have muscle if I flex. And my torso is shorter than my legs, but not by much. I'm a kid's 13 shoe. I don't know if that helps. I don't know. I'm not really good at describing myself. I'm so much better at describing other people. Aw, thank you. That means so much to me because people tell me I need to do them and I don't touch them. So thank you. That works, you think? Yeah, of course. If you need another description, I can always get someone else to stare at me and describe me as well. Ah, yes, 2-minute warning. Thank you. Do I play Xbox? I actually have a PlayStation 4 in my house. And for my gaming on Twitch, I play mostly Switch right now. When I move out, would I consider moving to another country or state? I don't mind moving out of the country once like I have financial stability and I can afford to still produce like my fashion line if it's working out or whatever I'm working on while being in another country. But if I'm not there yet, I'm not ready to move to another country. State-wise, I wouldn't mind moving to another state currently if it's close to the city and if I'm set up and I can work everything from like a remote job. I don't mind living anywhere. Have I studied? It depends. What are you asking if I've studied? I've studied a lot of things in life. What video games do I like to play? All of the above. I can find good in any video game. But honestly, it really depends on like the style of it. At the end of the day, I have to like the style. Will I date a younger guy? I have. I was in a relationship with a guy who lied to me about his age for about 4 years. He was 2 years younger than me. And the guy I talked to right before filming I Am Shauna Rae was 6 months younger than me. And he also lied to me about his age. If you're younger than the woman that you're trying to go after, don't lie to her about your age. It's just not a turn on at all. It's honestly a bad thing. Yeah, I was like, lying about it's bad, and if you do lie about it, come clean as soon as possible, because second guy did. First guy took 2 years to tell me he was actually 15 when we were 17 and he was 17 and 16, and then he was 17 and 15, and I was like, what the heck did I get into? You're going to be 26 in 2 weeks? Congrats! Happy early birthday! So we are going to get going. I want to say thank you all for being here. I hope you have an amazing day. Stay positive. Don't let anyone make you negative. Don't let anyone tear you down. And if someone is making fun of you or hurting you, stand up for yourself. Be confident in who you are and know that you are doing so many amazing things that they can't even fathom. So have an amazing day. Bye, y'all.